Praise the Lord. Our today's word from the Bible is from Luke chapter 19, verse 46, that says, "And he said to them, Did you not know that my house is to be a house of prayer, but you have turned it into a marketplace?" After Jesus made his triumphal entry into Jerusalem on Palm Sunday as we know it, he went first thing into the temple. And when he got there, he just saw that how place of worship, where a place where it was supposed to be quiet and a place where people came to pray, it had actually turned into this marketplace where people were buying and selling. The system seemed right because people would come from far distance to worship there, and they would offer sacrifices of animals. So instead of dragging the animals from wherever they came from, it just made more sense to them that they would buy it right there and there so that the animal met all the requirements that were needed. So, in order for the purchase of this sacrifice, people were extorting it, so to say. They were, charging extra money for currency exchange, and they had to meet certain requirements. The leaders and the Pharisees needed to be looked onto, and they had to be worshipped, and they had to be followed by their regulations. So, instead of this place being a place of reverence, it had turned into this place where it was noisy and it was not supposed to be what it needed to be. When Jesus came riding on a donkey in the triumphal entry, that was his sign of, he came as a peaceful way. However, he turned into to showing his authority. He made a whip of cords and he started just overthrowing all the tables and throwing out all the money and just driving all these animals away. Friends, this is a warning for each and every one of us that God is a God of peace, but He's also a God of judgment. He has His authority that we cannot extort the place of worship. We need to be careful whether we are a church goer or we are a church leader. We need to ensure that the place of worship is truly a worship of God and of nobody else or of nothing else. Whether we like it or not, friends, remember that God is a God of judgment and His whip is ready. So be careful how you worship, where you worship. Let's ensure that Christ is the center, that the place of worship is not a place of entertainment, it's not a place where it doesn't need to be a stage where people are looked up to or where people get all the accolades. It is only God that needs to be worshipped. Do not make the place of worship into a den of robbers. Yes, we may not rob people of currency or of money, but then there are indirect ways, under the table type of a worship of other things. Only God needs to be worshipped. So do not make the place of worship into a den of robbers. It is a place where people need to come and draw nearer to Jesus. If Jesus is not worshipped, if people don't come to find Jesus there, then it is not a place of worship. So let's be careful that the place that we call a church or we call it a temple, it truly is about Jesus and nobody else and nothing else. Today, may the joy of the Lord be your strength.